All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank
Good
you all
morning.
for joining. Yeah, good morning. Thanks for your response. I believe you all can hear me and you all can see me. Um, Welcome, everyone. I still see that more people are joining us. All right. Welcome. This is Sable International. For those of us who are not still sure, this is Sable International, and you're welcome to another webinar session with us. So, this is actually our first webinar for the year, and we are actually very glad that you are joining us today. I'll be your anchor for today's webinar, and my name is Victory Immaculate. I'm a study advisor here at Sable International. For those who just coming across Sable International, I'll just tell you briefly about us. So we are an international education organization, and we do have partnership with over 500 universities spread across different countries. And we are not just, specialized in one country alone. So we have several universities spread across different countries. And the good thing is we do have direct partnership with these universities. So we are not third parties. We are not, we don't have to go through a long process before we reach out to the universities. And we have specialized and expert counselors who are always available to help you from counseling you on the right course and university to take, to making applications, to getting you those offers you need, down to your visa application. And we do make the process very seamless. So all you just need to do is reach out to us, give us a document, and go and sleep, like I tell most of my clients. It's actually a very interesting and satisfactory service that we render here at Sable International. So today is actually a special webinar section, and I'm actually telling you with confidence that it's a special section because the destination and the university we would be focusing on today is not the common destination, is not the common countries that many people already know about. And the university also is not, one of those universities that are hidden under somewhere or anything. It's a very recognized university. And we actually do have Dr. Kalu, who will be the representative of Woosong University, joining us and anchoring this session with us. I promise you, it's going to be a very exciting and you know, inciting and informative section for those of us who are curious in knowing more about South Korea, who want to know the possibilities, what the life there looks like. Dr. Carlo would be putting us through that section. So let me officially welcome Dr. Carlo to this webinar section. Dr. Carlo, welcome. Thank you for taking part
Yeah,
in this session.
thank you, Victory. It's a pleasure to be with you. Hello,
Okay.
everyone. Yeah, unfortunately, most of the people here didn't turn on their cameras, so it's difficult to see anyone. No camera turned on, but I can see some beautiful background pictures. But anyways,
Yeah.
like um, like Victory said, my name is Dr. Carlo. I'm a professor at Woosong University, and I am one of you, right? As you can see, Kalu is a Nigerian name, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
and yeah, we at Osong, we boast of being a global institution, right? We have over 87 nationalities represented in our campus. Out of the 1,400 international students we have in the campus, over 3,000 are international students. I mean, name any country in the world and we would tell you a student that has been from there. So it's a pleasure to be here with you today. And I would like to, ask you to feel free. This is a brotherhood interaction, right? So don't care about how you talk or your choice of words. This is not an examination period. It's a session where you feel free to ask any question you feel like, even if it is outside the scope of this study abroad. I will be glad to answer such questions. Um, Before I continue, I want to remind you that I have been in Korea since 2001, right? if you calculate, it's over 20 years, right? So, and I have gone through many phases before I got to where I am. I have worked in the factory, I have done business, I have taught before at some level and before coming to where I am now. So I understand the system really, really well. So today I'm going to be focusing on studying in Korea, particularly Woosong University. Why I say studying in Korea is that it's difficult to talk about our school without talking about the country because the country made us who we are, right? If the country is not safe, the school cannot be. If the country doesn't have quality environment or quality facility, the school also will not share of, will not share of its glory and its development to the rest of the world. So I think it's always good to talk about Korea when we discuss when we talk about our school. So I'm going to start from, sharing my PPT with you. So let me share the presentation I have today. Yes, can you see my PowerPoint? Hello, can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, we
I can.
can. Yes, we
Okay,
can.
good, yeah. So actually, I told you my name is Carlo Ibe Ekpegere. I have PhD in environmental engineering, and I am a professor here, like I said previously. My my study area is sustainable energy. I also deal with teach global issues and discuss. So most of the current issues and discuss, those are some of the things I teach in school. Yeah, and um, like the way our school is structured, most of us have dual responsibilities, right? So I'm not only a professor or a teacher or what do you call it in Nigeria, a lecturer. I am also the regional director. So everything our school does with Africa, I'm the one that is in charge. When I mean Africa, East, West, North, and South Africa. So I'm the one that is in charge. And because I've also worked with the school for a very long time, our school is connected to almost all the African missions in Korea. So talk about whosoever is your ambassador, I probably will know every one of them, from any country in Africa. So today, I want to say a little bit about Korea. Usually I ask people when I start my presentation, what do you know about Korea? Can anybody just tell us one thing he knows about Korea? Just feel free to say one thing you know about Korea. Anything? Any identification, anything around you that is associated with Korea that you can mention?
Culture now.
Yes, culture. Well, to tell you what I mean by Korea is things that are made in Korea that you find around you. That's what I mean. Korea is everywhere. And we boast of Korea being almost in every household. If you are using Samsung, you are using Korea product. If you know Kia, Kia is Korea. If you know Hyundai, Hyundai is Korea. If you know Hanguk Tire is Korea. So many products. LG, name them. So they are all Korean products. So Korea is just a very small country compared to Nigeria, about 51 million people. And out of these 51 million people, around 2 million are foreigners, and the rest are Korean. And they have their own language. They don't speak English. They have Korean language, which is their language. So they develop their country using their language. Telling you that developing a country doesn't have anything to do with language. And one interesting thing about Korea is that we used to be richer than Korea, more developed than Korea. We had everything ahead of Korea until the late 70s. But they overtook us. And where they are now, I don't think we can catch up in the next 20 years, no matter what we do. It's not possible. Yeah, so that is how quickly things have worked out for them. And as you can see from this, they are a democratic country, right? Votes are done accordingly here. And the GDP of Korea as of 2022 was about $32,000. You know what that means? That's gross domestic product. That's the minimum amount of money anybody earns, people can earn. It's about $32,000 in a year. So that shows you know how many people can earn this kind of, convert it to Naira, and you understand what I mean. And like I said, it's a very small country, both in area and in population. So this is South Korea. And inside the South Korea, you have us located in a place called Daejeon. Daejeon is the city where our university is located. And from our city to the capital, Seoul, takes about 50 minutes by speed train. So we have this speed train that moves at the speed of over 200 kilometers per hour. So if you take that train, you're going to make it to Seoul within 50 minutes. And if you want to go south to Busan, you are going to make it in about 1.5 hours. So we boast of being at the center of Korea, where going east, west, north, and south is easier, right? Unlike when you are located in the north, you have to go wherever you want from the north. So we are known as the new hub of Asia because of the science and technology and research institutes that are located around this city. So the city is about 1.5 million people, but we have almost 8,000 PhD holders. 8,000. So that is to tell you the kind of quality we have here, right? 1.5 million people, 18 universities, almost 8,000 PhD holders. So this is the center of quality, as we say. But the thing is, despite that, Korea does not play with its culture and tradition and values. And some of the values we have in Korea is similar to what we have in Africa. That's the value of respect, the value of honor, the value of being there for your brother. That's what Korea is known for. So despite the development, Korea has protected its culture and tradition. So I usually tell people that Korea is a place where science and technology meets tradition and culture. You see science and technology in its best, but you see tradition and culture that was not tampered with. They still do everything the way it was done in the old, but modernize it in a very standard modernized environment. So this is what you see in Korea. So this is not those kind of places where you go and you come back, you call your father by his name. No, you come to Korea, and the first thing you do is when you meet people, they ask you, what's your name? You say your name. The next thing is, how old are you? They are not asking you because they care much about your age or they want to take advantage of you. The reason is that everybody has to respect whosoever is older than him. So if I get to know your age, I will know whether I should be the one to greet you first and how to address you, right? If I address you as a younger person and it turns out that you are older than me, it's disrespect here. So it is established at the first meeting. So age is not hidden here. Yeah. And me talking to you, I'm 52 years of age. So I don't hide my age. So is everyone in Korea, right? There's no need for that because, I mean, I don't know what we're using it for. And talking about quality, our school is, has been in existence for a very long time, since the 1940s, right? That's where our school started, from being a study center gradually to becoming a global institution. And one of our best schools, known as Sable International School of Business, it has AACSB accreditation. AACSB means Association of American Colleges School of Business. And that makes it the top 5% of business schools in Korea. That's talking about quality. So we have a mark of quality in our institution. And I mentioned before, in Korea, we cannot talk about our school without talking about Korea because the different government takes the institutions as their own. We are a private school, but despite being a private school, the government supports us. And in return, we also give account to the government. So when we do all our activities of the year, we go back to the government and tell them, oh, this is how much we receive in school fees. This is what we use it to do. And our account is always balanced, right? So government invests in us, and at the end, we give them account. So they support us in our project, while we also try to run the school to the best of our ability using the resources that we have from within. And like I mentioned previously, we are about 1,400 students. And out of that 1,400, about 3,000 are international, more than 3,000. And they are from 88 different nationalities, right? Yeah. So, and we have so many international professors. As you can see, I'm one of them. We have professors from Ethiopia, from Ghana, from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India, name it, right? So all those things are structured so that students, when they come here, they feel among, right? So you don't just see Korean professors while there is nobody from your place. So we have a couple of African professors, a couple of people from the West, from East, from North and South. Everyone is here. And I mentioned previously that Korea is an English-speaking country, right? Because it's an English-speaking country, most of the universities still teach their courses in their language. But the thing is that there has been this drive, there has been this problem in Korea of population decline, right? People are no longer getting married. Those who get married, they don't want to have children. And those who have children, they want to have just a child. The ladies don't want to lose their figure. They want to look beautiful as long as they can. And that is becoming a problem in the country. So the population is going downhills. And some schools are closing because they don't have enough students. So because of that, the government started opening up for to attract international students. And how did they do that? They started introducing English taught programs in the schools. So not all the programs in our university is taught in English. Most of them are still taught in Korean. So some of the courses we'll be talking about today are the courses that are offered 100% in English, where you do not need to learn the language to be able to be our students, right? So such courses include things like global management, AI and big data, hospitality management, digital media and communication, restaurant and entrepreneurship, arts and culinary arts, beauty and K design, K-pop management, and the rest of them, a couple of them here. That is bachelor's degree. We also have a master's degree. We have hospitality management as well, international business management, AI and big data, also artificial intelligence in engineering, master of engineering in artificial intelligence, as well as master of arts and management and technology in Sobridge. So we also have MBA program and some PhD programs listed here. So the thing is that why is Korea an attractive place to study? One of the reasons is that Korea has quality facility, right? When I say quality facility, I mean quality facility. This is our business school. This place, that is our business school. It's standing alone. It's a kind of, it says 17-story building standing by itself. It has basketball. All these things you see here are inside this building, right? At different levels and more. Top high tech and anything you can imagine. I've been here since 2001, like I mentioned. I've traveled the whole of Europe, Germany, France, England, everywhere. I've gone to US, almost of the states in the US. I've gone to South Africa, East Africa, West Africa, North Africa from here. If you bring Korea to compare to most of those things, Korea would beat them in almost most of the things because we have a better structure. And these people developed this place for themselves. So they didn't make it for you, they made it for themselves. So they made it for their comfort. All you can do is to come and enjoy what they have made. So there is quality, the facility is top notch and very clean. You know, if you go to US, you can see some schools that look good, but you can see that some of those buildings are ready yesterday, right? Like this is the school dormitory. This is how the dormitory looks like. This is where you stay if you are a student, right? So this is our library, and the room looks like this. So you can share a room with a fellow student. So this is some of our classrooms. I mean, everything is top notch when you think about it. And inside that building I show you, there is also swimming pool and sauna and the rest of the things. So this is how what the soccer field looks like. That's the building I showed you where the dormitory is. So the facilities are top notch. It's not something you can, you would say is below what you have in Europe or below what you have in US, not at all, right? And I've also mentioned that we have diverse faculties, which we boast of, over 200 of them here in Korea. This guy is from Ghana, this one is from Canada, this one is Sri Lanka, this one is US. So this is what you see here in our university. So we have diversity of faculties, we have diversity of students. That means diversity of ideas, diversity of knowledge, diversity of opportunities as well, right? Yeah. And we also have partnerships across the globe. You know, these days, students' mobility is very, very important. Sometimes you go to a university or you go to a country to study and you find out, oh, you are not meant for that place. Or maybe the country is overhyped, or you found a challenge that you know you cannot be able to deal with. If that happens when you come to us, you need to take a chance because we have a way out for you, right? We have partners across the globe where we can send you to if you are interested. So we have exchange program, which we can give you opportunity to go and see where you are going and come back. That place you don't pay school fees when you are going, right? You just go there, study for a semester, then come back. If you finally decided to travel to that place, to travel to those places as a study abroad student, we are going to help you, guide you on how to apply, and then you can exit from here to either US, to Europe, or to Canada, depending on the destination you really want. So we have exchange program, which is tuition free. We also have what we call dual degree. Dual degree means doing 2 years here and doing 2 years in a partner school, or doing 3 years here, what we call 3+1 or 2+2, 3 years in our school and doing 1 year in Germany or France or UK, right? That is what we call dual degree. So you get a degree from us and get a degree from them. Then we also have what we call study abroad. Study abroad means I am tired, I want to go, right? So we will help you to exit, help you apply, and then you can go. And we also have programs which are what we call short-term programs, right? These are things we organize for like expats. Assuming people from the bank want to experience Korea, to know how Korea looks like, or do like a study tour, right? We can organize those kind of things, using all these the educational consultants who are our representatives to get them done. So we have now, this data was like 2 years ago. So we have more than 250 partnerships now, or about 300 of them present now. So wherever you want to go, we will help you, Ed. So this is a kind of chart about the places you can go. Our 2+2 dual degree. These are the countries. In Canada, you have this school. In US, you have these schools. In Norway, there is this school. Russia, China, Australia, Taiwan. These are where you can have 2+2. Means 2 years in a school and 2 years in a partner school there. Then we also have 3+1. 3+1 means 3 years in a school and 3 years in that country. We have one in United Kingdom, one in France, US. Like I said, we have two also. We have one in Germany and one in Australia recently. So there are places you can go from here. Then we will have 1+1. 1+1 means for master's degree students, 1 year here and 1 year there, you graduate there. So we can be a pathway through which you can go to your destination, actually, in case you don't like Korea. And yeah, so for exchange, we just ask you name the country. The reason why exchange is very important these days is like many students live in the, how do I say it? Like you will have a student who wants to study, or his original plan was to go to Europe, but he couldn't meet up going to Europe. So he comes to Korea. And what he sees in Korea, he seems not impressed, or he doesn't really like it. So exchange gives you opportunity to go and see those countries, right? How they really look like, so that you can come and compare what you have. And if you finally decide to go, then you can go. And in exchange, you don't pay school fees where you are going. The school fees you pay here covers what you are going to do there. All you have to do is take care of yourself, do the normal this thing, pay accommodation, and then you come back to us where you are done after a semester or two, depending on what the agreement is. Yeah. And here also, we give students opportunity to show their talent, right? We have sports day, we have music day, we have clubs, all kinds of, name it, music club, dancing club, table tennis club, soccer club, anything you play, basketball. So there is always opportunity for you to display it. And each of these activities you do and do well, they always translate to a scholarship, right? Like assuming you come first in a debate club, right? The first person in the debate club gets like some percentage of scholarship in the next semester, so he doesn't have to pay tuition fee in full. And also, man, this is a different atmosphere. As most of you know, Korea is everywhere. In the movie industry, those of you who are watching Korean drama, saying Annyeonghaseyo, hello, and the rest of them, they are there. So people are coming, students are coming in numbers because they want to experience Korea. And these are all foreigners dressed in Korean attire. Yeah. And here, there is food for you to enjoy. And the K-pop and the K-culture is very strong. And students really love it. And one of the things we do in our school that makes us unique is that our school is meant for people who are going to the workplace, mostly for the workplace, unless you don't work. So we prepare and help you to get a job. So there is opportunity for career counseling opportunity, right? So we can tell you how to prepare yourself so that when you finish school, you become marketable. So because of that, we usually invite top CEOs to come and talk to students so that you can listen to what the CEOs really need and prepare yourself for that, right? So because of that also, we have what we call a CDC department, Career Development Center. So what the Career Development Center does is that it connects the school to the factories, to the industries where students can be needed, right? Yeah. So by the time you graduate, you must have had some kind of an internship or something like that that will prepare you, and there will be some kind of mentoring as you are graduating from school. You are ready to, go into the labor markets and excel. And because of that, we try to develop friendships. In Nigeria, most of the universities don't care about companies. But here, university boasts of companies that they can work with, where their students can do internship, right? So schools don't just sit back and wait for compare them the kind of students we have. Ask them, if you need this kind of students, come to us. And if we are doing events, we invite them to come and promote also what they do. And using that opportunity, we get Woo, Bosk, and SK, Postco, S-Oil, and Samsung as well, right? And so some of these companies, their top executives are also some of the people we invite to talk to our students from time to time. And I know many of you don't know much about Korea because of the location, but I mentioned earlier that I've been here since 2001. Korea is export, export, export. Their GDP is 12th in the world. Best educational system, first in innovation and digital index. I mean, this is the headquarters of innovation. I remember in 2020 when one pastor was talking about how 5G will cause some problem and everything. I was like, does this man know what he's talking about? We have been using 5G for almost 5 years now, and they are still talking about what 5G can do. Are you sure? Why have we not died? Because my phone is connected to 5G internet. And because of the internet, you know, when you are using 5G, it doesn't do like this. It doesn't load. It clicks and it clicks. Click and it goes. Click and it goes. And it's really amazing, you know, the kind of technology that is available here. And these are some of the products that Korea is known for. You know, the cell phone, right? TV, shipping. Yeah, this is an aspect of Korea that a lot of people from Africa do not know, shipbuilding. Korea is one of the biggest shipbuilding countries in the world. I mean, shipbuilding, you know, the shipbuilding industry is bigger than the car building industry. One shipbuilding company, their annual, the kind of money they get from shipbuilding is just like annual budget of some countries. It's a huge business. So after this, check out Korean shipbuilding and see the ranking and everything that is done in Korea in those days. Hyundai, this Hyundai car we know. Hyundai here is more popular in shipbuilding than in car manufacturing. So the Hyundai shipbuilding is huge compared to car distance. So they have a lot of ranking. You all know LG, right? Everybody knows Kia. POSCO. This is another shocking story about POSCO. POSCO is a steel producing company, one of the best in the world. But you know what? Korea doesn't have iron ore. How are they producing steel? They import the raw materials, refine it, produce steel, and sell to the rest of the world. So like I mentioned, these guys are into exports, and it's exports and their bread that they are using to grow their country. So most of the top 10 shipbuilding companies in the world are from Korea. And why will you study in Korea? What is the opportunity if you graduate in Korea? Yes, this is you as a student. You are going to have what we call D2 visa. D2 visa is student visa. And when you are done as a student, if you graduate and you have your graduation certificate, you qualify for what we call job seeking visa. Job seeking visa lasts from 2 years to 3 years, depending on your area of specialization. Like those who studied humanities, they might have lower time. Those who study STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, they can have it up to 3 years. So if you have 2 years to find a job, within those 2 years, if you find a permanent job, that's good. You're going to qualify for what we call e-visa, right? E1, E2, E3, depending on your job prescription. Then if you use this e-visa for 2 years, you are qualified for a temporary residence called F2 visa. F2 visa, it means you now have some kind of special kind of card and you have special rights in Korea and all those kind of things. Then if you use the F2 visa for 2 years, you qualify for F5 visa. F5 visa means permanent residence. And after 2 years of permanent residence, you can apply for the Korean passport if you meet the requirements. So each of these visas from here, to qualify for this one, you need to be a student. To qualify for this one, you need to graduate. To qualify for this one, you need to get a job. To qualify for this one, you must have done the job for 2 years. And after 2 years, you qualify for F5 visa, which is permanent residence. And from permanent residence, you have to pass some tests to be able to qualify to have Korean passport. So yes, you can have Korean passport. It is possible, right? Yeah. And yeah, our application is fully online and our consultants can guide you whenever you are interested or whenever you are ready. So we have 2 application periods, fall and spring. Fall application is the application that is meant between May and July, and the school period starts from September 1st. And spring is application that is made from October till December, and the starting period is March 1st. And yeah, this is the much I can say for now. Here, we usually have fun. I mean, fun and fun and fun. Me, you see me, I told you I'm 52, right? Yes, I didn't hide my age. There is no day no week I don't play soccer at least twice. If I'm not here, what I would have done is have my dinner and maybe like take 30 minutes walk or 25 minutes walk, because everywhere is beautiful. You can walk without being afraid. Everywhere is beautiful and clean and protected. This is one of the safest countries in the world. You can go out here anytime, any day. It doesn't matter how small you are. And the science and technology is superlative here. I cannot come and ask my children where they are. I would always put my phone and check where my children are, right? I will find them from the phone, because wherever they are, there is a camera that will take their picture once they enter and translate it into my phone. So I know they're here. And when they go, the same thing happens, right? So I can say precisely where my sons are. So that's how things work here. So Korea is a good place to be. One thing I didn't mention is that there is scholarship available. So sound students stand a chance of studying with lower amount of money, right? And no matter how much money, how much scholarship you get, it doesn't affect our interaction with our agents. We take care of them the way we ought to take care of them. So I need to stop here. I already talked for more than 30 minutes or about 30 minutes. So let me wait for questions and answers. So ask me any question you feel like. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank
Yes,
you so much, Dr. Carlo. That was a very, very informative section. And basically, it actually covers every area I would have actually asked you to dwell on. And
mm,
I believe every of the potential student listening would have gotten one or two things they really wanted, because you actually stressed on the opportunities available. You talked about the culture, you talked about the language issues. I think that's actually the major part many students usually ask questions about. You've talked about every area we really needed to address. And I believe for those who have been thinking about South Korea, it's now more of an interesting place you really want to go to. Thank you so much, Dr. Kalu.
you're
Um,
welcome.
I would just want you to talk so much about the application requirement, especially for bachelor students and then for master students. Let's start with the bachelor degree qualifications needed for applying for any of your bachelor degree program, as well as, okay, maybe you could also move on to talk about the qualifications and then needed for masters, and what are those things that would qualify students for the scholarships available.
Okay.
Now, when we talk about scholarships here, you also need to, there are some students who are, when they hear that word scholarship, all they are concerned about is 100% discount you are paying for accommodation if you are taking care of them. So we really need to be very clear.
Yeah, certificate of family relations. That is evidence showing that our parents are not Koreans, right? They are non-Koreans. So what you need for that is just your birth certificate that has the name of your parents at the background, right? You and your parents. Then we need a copy of your international passport, and you're required to provide English proficiency test. But that is optional for Nigerians, right? So we are exempted from this. So Nigerians do not need to provide English language proficiency score to qualify for our school. But what happens is that if you have a good language test score, it can help you get more scholarship, right? Because our scholarship is based on your previous academic performance, which means the person who has A stands who has BB and those who have CD, right? So that's what. And so what I've mentioned is uh, you might need a language score test, and there is online interview. We want to know your communication, that you're actually coming to study and not for anything else. We want to make sure that we give that opportunity of study to the right kind of students, right?
Just
How much a master's degree students, the whole thing is similar. We need your bachelor's degree students. We need your language test score if you have a very good one to get more scholarship. We need your recommendation letter. We also need need you to go through online interview and be evaluated on your capacity and motivation to study with us. So these are
okay.
basically what you need, the requirements, and what can actually determine your. Most of our recommendation is better from your school. It is better from your pastor. That Koreans believe that students spend more time with the teacher than with their pastor or with their politician friend or with their father's faith. Honest recommendation from your teacher. Your teacher will say you are a brilliant student, but you easily get angry. It's okay. right? Because we want to know you through the recommendations, and we want the recommendation to be as honest as possible, right? It doesn't mean they must say the negative part of it, but anyhow, if they say it, we really don't know what they mean. So we prefer recommendation letter from schools and not from politicians or pastors or doctors or lawyers. We prefer
All right.
recommendation letter from your listening.
All right.
So that's it. Yeah. So go
All right,
ahead. Any
Dr.
other
Khalid.
questions?
Yes, yes. There are several other questions coming up. So
Okay,
someone
you can
else
read
is
them.
asking about,
Mhm.
yeah, someone else is asking about the chances of getting part-time jobs, and then what are the payment installment like at Woosong?
Wes, well, when it comes to part-time job, actually study abroad is likened to part-time job, right? Don't go to any country where there is no available part-time job. So don't go to a country where there is no, where the workforce is full, right? Like I told you from the beginning, Korea has a problem of population, which means there is room for people to work here. So there is part-time job available, both in school and outside the school. There are so many things you can do to earn money. Korea is not like Malaysia or Indonesia or yeah, this is highly industrialized place. So there are a lot of things you can do here when
Okay.
you come here. And when it comes to the tuition payment, usually uh, tuitions are paid semester by semester, and I have 2 semesters a year. So if you are coming here as a student, you are required to pay 1 semester tuition fee. That is 1 semester invoice. And that invoice is going to be your tuition fee, your health insurance, enrollment fee, activity fee, and dormitory all put together, right? Because you have to come here and stay in a place. So we make sure you have a place before you come so that you come and feel comfortable. So these are this is the kind of money you're required to pay ahead of time. So you don't pay the whole annual tuition at once. So you pay half of it.
All right then. So another question here is asking. Okay, someone is asking if we could get the recorded webinar later. Yes, please do reach out to us on any of our channels. We would see the possibility of sending this to you. And then another question here says, are there opportunities for pharmacy students?
Yeah, our pharmacy department is not those technical professions are really tough to deal with now. Like medicine in Korea, nobody is studying medicine in Korea in English. Most of the people who are doing medicine, there are very few of them, but there are people who came here, they studied the language for 1 year or two, they became very strong in the language, then they get enrolled into that kind of profession because it's delicate. You are dealing with human life. The same thing applies to pharmacy. The same thing applies to things like nursing. Like we have a very good nursing school, but you find like zero international students there because most Korean language. So there is pharmacy department, but unfortunately, in our school and in most of the schools, as far as I know, you hardly can find pharmacy being taught in English in Korea.
Okay.
So if you're hell bent on studying pharmacy, I think Korea may not be the right place for you now. Maybe in future.
Okay, Dr. Kando. So there are lots of questions. Sorry, I'm hurrying you up. I just want us to
Yeah,
be brief
no worries. I will take them
with
one
them.
after the other. Don't worry.
All right then. So the next question here says, is there an age limit? And what if I have been done with secondary school for a long time? So I think this is basically talking about study gap. So is there
Yes,
an age
yes,
limit? And what is
yes.
study gap like? And what?
There is a study gap issue. The thing is that Korea is a country where they had a massive education or massified education. You understand? For them,
Yeah.
everybody must go to school. Like if your parents, if you have a child here and you don't register them to school, it is illegal, right? Which means
Mm-hmm.
the government will come and take you and make sure you go to school. So they think that is how it should be. So if you come to here to study at the age of 30 and you want to go to bachelor's, they are like, man, is it possible? How are you going to cope with people who are in the bachelor's degree at the age of 16? So most of the bachelor's degree students we have now are between 16 and 23. You hardly can find somebody who is 25. So the thing is that no school will reject your application because of your age. Every school will accept your application. Most schools will process your application, but your chances of getting visa when you are more than 27 as a bachelor's degree student is very, very low.
Oh,
You understand? So because
yeah.
of that, I always tell people, if you are of this age, You can try, but don't make your expectation be that high, because here we have to tell ourselves the truth. To apply
Oh,
for a school like Korea, it takes 3 months to, it takes 3 months to 6 months to complete the process from beginning to the end, right? And if you don't have greater chances of being accepted, there's no need to go that route, because by that 3 to 6 months, money will be gone, time will be gone, energy will be
is there an
wasted.
age limit for campus?
Yeah, so there is no age limit. What I'm telling you is that if you are above 27, your chances of getting visa is very low. So, but your chances of visa is low
All
for
right, I
bachelors.
get.
But for masters and PhD, there is no, you don't have problem with age.
Okay. Talking about PhD, someone is also asking about PhD opportunities and
Yeah.
how how to apply, and is there a PhD related to chemistry or something?
No,
So
we don't
let's talk
have
about.
like if yeah, I shared there are two, three areas where we have PhD program. One is hospitality and tourism management. Second one is PhD in management studies, and the last one is PhD in global management. So our three PhD programs are all related to management. So we don't have PhD in chemistry and those kind of things. We have them, but it's in English. It's in Korean language. No, I'm sorry. So it's still in Korean language. So we are bit by bit, as we keep getting manpower in terms of professors, and we keep getting requests in terms of interest, uh, department and courses, then we keep, developing these departments in English so that we can get more people. There are some schools in Korea that don't have any English program. If you cannot study Korean, study with them to hell with you. Yeah. So, but some of us, to be able to compete very well and maintain the number of, students that is required to sustain our school, we went this route of developing international thought program. So we don't have PhD
Okay.
program in chemistry.
Okay, so these two questions, I believe you've answered them, but I'll just have to say that again. So two students asking about engineering courses and then opportunities for public health master students. I know you've already listed the
Yeah,
courses, but
I
you can
mentioned
briefly.
public health, things like nursing, and they are still in Korean language. And the only thing we
Yes.
have in engineering is AI and big data, right? We have bachelors of engineering in AI and big data. And also we have bachelors of engineering in international railroad department. So those are the ones. If you go to our website, you can find the updates on our programs. Go to Woosong University, find programs available. You will see the programs we have 100% in English.
Okay. Okay, so I think that would answer the next question about the student asking about business analysis and business. If if that course is taught in English, you can actually visit the website and be listed at the countries. It's very clear on the Woosong website the courses that are taught in English and those that are not taught
Yes,
in English. So
yes.
I think
So
if
so
you
guys, and for some of you who are here who actually want to study overseas, there is one personal advice I want to give, not just to agents but to students. I know many of you are trusting the educational consultant to help you, right? But it's also good to go and make a little bit of research by yourself, right? So, like we are talking about the programs we have, the programs we our in Korea, the website is like the manual for everybody. So companies put out everything there. Like if you go to our website, you will find me. You will find my phone number. You will find my email address. If you use those information and put them on Google, you will see more things about me. You understand? So somebody cannot cheat you with me, because you can see me. There is a way to trace who I am and whether I belong there or not. So the same thing applies to students. Please, if you come to these guys and say you want to go and study in Osong, before you go there, please find out the programs that are offered by Osong in English. Like here, I have bachelor's degree program, bachelor's in business administration, AI and big data, global management, hotel management, K-pop, interdisciplinary studies, AI, cognitive science, data science, K-beauty, media communication, culinary arts, restaurant and international entrepreneurship, then global railroad. Yeah. So these are the bachelor's degree program. Then when you go to graduate, the same thing, right? Business administration, IBA, Master of Science. So those kind of things, they are extensively explained online. And each of them, as
yeah,
well as
yeah,
tuition fee and the requirements, are all stated clearly.
yeah. That's clear. And if you still are not clear, you can still reach out. We would also still guide you through in
Yes, yes, yes. These guys are here to help you anytime. And also, our communication, we make it handy, right? We try to use WhatsApp, use Facebook, use whichever social media is available to communicate.
Yeah.
So if anybody sends any text message to these guys and they cannot answer you, they reach out to me. And once you drop a message on my phone, on my Facebook or social media, trust me, I will respond immediately I see it, or immediately I am available to, to
All
get
right.
back to you.
So the
We don't
next the
waste
next question, Mr. Kalu, is about HND holders and
time.
what are their pathways for those who have HNDs and have not top up. In fact, the top up is equivalent to a BSc at that level. So for let's focus on those who have HNDs. They're asking what are their pathways to
Yes,
a
yes,
direct
we do
master.
take HND, and we have had a couple of Nigerians that came through that route to our school. Yeah, but it must be upper class or distinction, right? But if you have a lower class and you are very motivated, what I will advise is you take a language test, right? Make sure you get a good score. Then come back and apply. What is going to happen is they will not be looking at that your lower lower this thing, lower class again. They'll be looking at the lower class as well as the language test score. That could make them accept you, right? So this is two ways. Either you have upper class or you have distinction. Then if you have two, third class is no. If you have lower grade, all you do is go and take language tests. Make sure you get good grade. Don't just get any kind of grade. Or don't get 5.5 or 4.0 eyes and come here to apply. Don't go for Duolingo because we accept Duolingo. Don't go and get Duolingo 100 and I think we accept you for master's degree program. No. If you want to do master's degree program, Duolingo will be from 130 and beyond. The master's degree will be from 6.5 eyes or thereabout, be and above. So that's how we do it. So you have for our school, we can accept you with HND under these conditions.
All right then. Okay, so I'm just focusing on questions that are actually unique. Now, if we don't get to answer or mention any of your questions, please do reach out to any of the study advisors. It's either we've talked about it already, answers have been given about those questions. As I don't want to keep repeating all of these questions, but in case I miss any of your question, please reach out to us on any of our platform.
Oh, I
We
can see
do
somebody.
have.
Somebody asked somebody. Let me answer this question. It's from Precious
Okay.
Obonaya to everyone. He said, "What do you require to get 100% scholarship?" Yes, getting
Okay.
100% scholarship. You can only get 100% scholarship on tuition fee. Remember, this scholarship is on tuition. We are not going to cover your accommodation. We are not going to cover your feeding. We're not going to cover your transportation. You have to do those things. And your daily listing, you have to do it. Because, we say overseas, there is no free lunch. Nobody gives you anything for free. Anybody that gives anything for free, there's something is targeting. So our own scholarship is a kind of motivation to support people to study. So if you come with the mindset that everything is going to be free, it's not like that. So to get 100% scholarship, I mentioned the variables: good grade, maybe probably distinction, perform very well in the interview, right? Have very good recommendations, and probably um, have a very good language tests, which you are using to push for higher grade. I think the highest scholarship we've gotten from Nigeria, two people got 95% scholarship. Chuka and Dejoma, they got 95% scholarship. So they paid us only 5% of the tuition. And when they come here, many of them, their continuing scholarship was 100%, which means if you have CGPA of 4.5, you don't pay school fees here. School fees is free for you. So what you owe us to get good scholarship is good grade, nothing else. Mostly good grade. So that's my answer to that. Ijoma. Oh, Precious. That's Precious, right?
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Can I go? Okay, good morning.
Yeah, good evening from my side.
Go
Dr.
ahead.
Carlo, Dr. Carlo, I know I met you online 2022-23.
Okay.
And
So
that,
what's
yes,
the name again?
my name is Henry Chibweze.
Okay.
And yes, I met you online when I was searching to enroll in your school. And it's a
Okay.
pleasure meeting you through Zoom today.
Thank
It's
you so
my
much.
pleasure. I've researched more about your school, and if there are speed response since then, I know by now I would have be in Woosong. But then, all things being equal, my question is like presently I'm running a PhD program in Nigeria, and if one want to enroll for PhD in your school, what time is the person supposed to apply, and what time is the admission, and what are other processes involved regarding
Yeah.
PhD program in your school? I study urban
Yes.
and regional planning.
Yeah, I think I remember something like this. First of all, I want to say that we don't have urban and regional planning. We have a PhD program in urban and regional planning. As you can see, the areas we have PhD are mostly management, right? We have
Okay.
PhD in, our PhD is in hospitality management, hospitality and tourism management, international education management, management studies, design studies. But yeah, these are the few areas we have PhD. But I know somebody can switch from this area and go to the other area.
Yes, maybe I also cover
So
hospitality.
the best time to apply, we're talking about you. The other question was the application time, right? If you we have two intakes, spring and fall. Spring session is the application, the session that starts from March 1st. And if for any reason March 1st falls on a weekend, it's going to be March 2nd or the next date. That is the next day of the week that is, where that is free. So we have two intakes, spring and fall. So those who are applying for spring, they usually start the application about October, November, December, right? That's when they do the application. So from January, February, you are going to use it to do the visa process. So between October, November, December, that's where you make the application. You'll be accepted or not accepted. Then you pay your school fees. Then between January and February, you have to do the visa runs, apply for visa, get your visa, and you're expected to be here and start school by March, right? That is spring for you. Then the next intake is fall. Then for fall, the application usually starts sometimes immediately from March. So, but you are expected to do the application from April, May, June, July. Then from August, okay, up to June. Then July, August, you use it for the visa runs. Then you're expected to start from March 1st. So these are the two intakes. And if you want to know more about I've mentioned it briefly. These are the application process. Remember, it is not only about applying. You have to apply at the time where after the application period, there has to be like a window of 2 months within which you can apply for visa and then get your visa and prepare and come. So now we are done. School starts by March 1st. So almost everybody who is coming for this semester already paid school fees. Many of them are in the process of getting their visa so that by the first week of March, they will be here in Korea. And if there is any delay, maybe you come the second week or third week. So application for spring is gone. So if you're hoping to join us, you probably will join us in fall 2025. I don't think if
Okay,
go ahead.
okay. Professor Carlo, it's a pleasure. And you talked about English. What about like some international universities? They require sometimes they tell you if you are taught in English, there will be a waiver. But it's like one must write an English test to be able to come to or to apply for your
No.
school.
I mentioned it. It is optional for all English-speaking countries in Africa. When I joined here in 2017, there was this condition of English requirement test. So I told them, no, it's not like that. In Africa, some schools are taught, 100, especially those from English-speaking countries, including me, right? So at some point, we had to bring it to the panel and we debated it. We interviewed some students and we agreed that you can be exempted from the language test. But I just mentioned what the language test can do for you, because what will make your coming here easier is your scholarship. So everybody wants to have as much scholarship as possible. So the language test is not compulsory. So we only do the language test so that we can get more scholarship to ourselves, right? Yeah. So language test is optional. For our school, it's optional. Yeah, it's optional. You don't have to take it.
Okay. And you mentioned hospitality and tourism, which is also in line of my field of study.
Yes, yes, yes. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you're interested in
Okay.
that, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All
So
right.
let's wait for March.
All right then. I would have to stop the question and answer session. The time is already up for the webinar section. I can see that there are still so many questions.
No, like, can I take one or
There's
two more questions? It's okay.
Okay, so
Let me
all
take
of the
one.
question is
What?
still around the program's availability and then tuition.
Okay. So
Tuition. So maybe you can just
what's the one on tuition about?
okay. So they're talking about what's the cost for a master degree program and what is the yearly fee for a bachelor degree program.
Yeah, oh, well, like I mentioned, master's degree program vary. You understand? So you have to be specific which program. The master's degree program is not one thing. We have masters in engineering and AI and big data. We have MBA, which is a different kind of masters also. You understand? So if you put them in one bracket, it doesn't actually get figure. And if I give you any figure, I'm gonna be lying, right? So, for example, if you want a master's tuition fee, let's go to tuition fees. So, if you want to do masters in bachelor's, sorry, graduate school. So these are the fees. If you want to do masters in engineering in artificial intelligence, right? It's a 2-year program, and annually you are going to pay $9,510. That means, and I told you, half of it is what you are required to pay for the first semester. Then inside that half, they also have to be scholarship. Then the masters in hospitality management, about the same figure, 9,510. But masters in international business management is the same figure. But when it comes to global and human studies, which is an online program, it's lesser. It's 3,000 something. Then you go to business administration. That one is masters in business administration. It is $27,000 annually. Then Master of Science in Marketing Analytics or Technology and Entrepreneurship, that one is $20,670 a year annually, right? Then if you go to PhD, it's about $9,550 a year and those kind of things. So there's no particular figure for one program for all the programs. So it varies from program to program, and the figures are online. I'm reading this from online actually. Those things you see me, I just read what is there on our website, so you can find it there by yourself. Yeah. The last but not the least
Oh,
question.
so it's still the other questions are still surrounded around scholarships, which I
Yeah,
think
let
you've
me take it
actually
again because
buttressed.
these are where the areas of emphasis. The areas we call areas of emphasis. So you have to repeat them again and again for them to be able to sink or soak in. Yeah. So what's the question about?
Okay, so this is saying, how do I get a fully funded scholarships? What is the minimum scholarship I can get as a master's student?
Well, like I said, there's nothing like fully funded scholarship because if you get a fully funded scholarship anywhere in the world, let me explain this thing to you. It means there is something you are going to do there to pay that school fees. Yes, that's what it means. Because it is not your government that is supporting you. It is not the government of the country that is supporting you. It means when you are going there in that school, you are going to be a slave. You pay for that money that was paid on your behalf. Yeah, so there is no fully funded scholarship. We are giving scholarship only on tuition fee, right? Which means you have to, like I mentioned before, you have to pay your accommodation by yourself. You have to pay your feeding by yourself. You have to pay your health insurance by yourself. The only thing we give you is tuition fee. So if you get 50% tuition fee scholarship, you are paying us 50% of the other money. So for master's degree, I think the least you can get is maybe 20% scholarship. And there are some programs where you can get up to 100% scholarship in master's degree. And some programs you can get maximum of 30% scholarship. So when you finally choose a course, we will tell you the maximum available scholarship in that course, in that program. So we have it all well outlined.
Okay. All right then. Thank you very much, Dr. Carlo. If you are not clear on some of these areas that we've talked about, or you still need more insight, please do reach us on our various platforms. You can send us an email to nigeria@sableinternational.com. You can also, would be leaving our WhatsApp number now on the chat. Please do pick up the number, send us a message on WhatsApp, and then we would reach out to you. You can also reach us on our various platforms, Instagram and Facebook. Ask us our question. We'll give you a call instantly and, clarify all of the areas you are not clear on. Thank you so much, Dr. Carlo. It's been a wonderful section with you and a
Yeah.
very informative one. Hopefully, I know the the numbers to South Korea would be increased after this. So thank you very much. We really do appreciate your time. We know it's evening over there, and
Yes, yes,
we
yes,
know
yeah.
the inconvenience this webinar has.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And like I said from the beginning, for most of you, Korea is one of those growing destinations. So give it a try and make time to study about the country. You really love to be here. You understand? You really
Yeah.
love. Many of us who started life here, America became boring to some of us. Europe seems like uncomfortable for some of us because the system is well, coordinated. So once you fit in here, almost everywhere seems uncomfortable. Yeah. So it's a place, it's a new destination, much cheaper and well organized. Yeah. And from here to anywhere in the world is easy. Yeah. So we are a global pathway to any destination you want. So thank you. I'll see
All right.
you some other time.
Thank
Yeah.
you very
Bye bye,
much.
guys. Have a good
Yeah,
day.
bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
everyone, for
you.
joining me. Thank you, everyone. We would reach out to you. We would reach out to you personally after this webinar. Thank you once again, and please do leave us your questions, call us, and then our study advisors would be in touch with you almost immediately.
Okay.
For
Thank
those of
you.
you who don't know us again, remember this is Sable International, and then we would be glad to guide you through your application down to your visa application. Well, Mr. Carlo, I think maybe the next session we would focus more on the visa applications. We really did not
Yes,
dwell on
yes,
that.
yes. Also, I'll be glad to share that also when the time comes, whenever you want me to do that. Yes.
All right.
Thank
All right,
you.
then. So our study advisors will be glad to be on standby to give you answers regarding visa to South Korea. If you have questions surrounding that area, if not for time, we would have talked about that. But please do reach out to us. Our study advisor, like I said, are on standby to give you all of the answers that you need. Thank you, everyone, for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Webinars.
Bye.
All right, bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah.